Well, all right, kids. We've already picked the 49er game. Diego and I are going to go through the rest of the picks for the week. And we are starting off with the Atlanta Falcons headed to New Orleans. The Falcons are favored by 3.
Falcons favored by 3. That's great. Did you know that the Saints got hammered by your Philadelphia Eagles last week?
Yeah, that I did.
So, guess where I'm going. By the way, Thursday night football games are all divisional games nowadays. I don't know. I missed that memo. It just seems like it's happening next week, so I guess the same thing's going to happen. Give me the Falcons.
Okay, Julio Jones equals the pretty decisive Falcon victory. Against that secondary, there's no way I can see New Orleans holding these guys to under 28, and I don't think New Orleans has the juice to score 28 on Atlanta right now. Give me the Falcons. Okay, next up, Denver is headed to Cleveland, favored by 4.5.
It's an interesting one because nowadays, basically, every time you bet on Denver, you bet on their defense. That offense did not score a touchdown last week. Am I right? Think I am.
Yeah.
I think they got a few field goals, then they got a pick six to win it. And Cleveland is out there, throwing for yards, and Josh McCown's like throwing for 700s and whatnot. Not against the defense. Not going to happen. It's 4.5, so it's a little iffy on it, but I'm going to pick Denver to cover.
Okay, I got to agree with you on this one, too. I'm picking Denver. By the way, look, even though I'm not asking or picking you to win, Mr. Manning, you do me a favor and throw the ball to Demaryius Thomas. I drafted him in the first round this year, and you're making me look like a dumbass.
Emmanuel Sanders.
Throw to Thomas now. Even though I think you're going to have a tough time covering the spread here. Give me Denver. I'll take Denver on the points over Cleveland. I don't think they've got the juice to stop that defense. Yeah. Okay, next up, we've got Cincinnati, favored by 3.5, headed to Buffalo.
Cincinnati had a really, really entertaining game last week against Seattle, kind of coming from behind, I think, from double digits to take it to overtime and eventually win it. Still have to wonder if they're for real or if we're just kind of waiting for them to fall out. At Buffalo this week, I think that defense for Rex Ryan is going to do just enough to pull off the upset, so give me the Bills.
Okay, you're taking the Bills, and this is where we're going to disagree.
Okay.
The Bills have one hope, and that's to run Carlos Williams enough that they can keep Cincinnati in the sidelines. I don't think that's going to happen. I think that Andy Dalton to A.J. Green connection is ridiculous. Marvin Jones is showing up like no other.
Mohamed Sanu, too.
Yeah, no joke. Finally, huh? Give me Cincinnati. I'll take Cincinnati to 3.5 all day long. Okay, next up, we have got Kansas City Chiefs headed to the Minnesota Vikings, and the Vikings are favored. Vikings favored by 3.5.
Carrie's giving me the thumbs down on Minnesota. Kansas City, dude, hate to see Jamal Charles go down like that. Alex Smith now has to work with a bunch of backup running backs, which we're all going to pick up in fantasy, of course.
Yep.
On the road at Minnesota to show me kind of signs of life. I like Kansas City's defense to do what Teddy Bridgewater, what the Niners did to him in Week 1.
Yep.
So I think the Chiefs pull up the upset. This one, give me the Chiefs.
Losing a player like Jamal Charles has a dramatic effect on a franchise, and until the Chiefs show me that they can absorb that loss and play effectively, which they didn't do last week, they imploded. I'm not going to pick them to win a game until I see these guys actually show me that they can win without Jamal Charles. Believe it or not, I'm actually picking the Minnesota Vikings to win a football game. If you have a pen, write this down, because, kids, this does not happen. All right, next up, we have got Houston going to Jacksonville, favored by 1, which basically makes it a push.
Wild card here is whether Blake Bortles is going to play or not. He's got some kind of sprain on the shoulder. It's really unclear as of right now whether he's going to play. If it's Chad Henne, J.D. Watt's just going to eat him for lunch. As of today, because I don't have a whole lot of faith that Bortles is going to be a go in this game. I got to go with Houston. But if Bortles was playing, Jacksonville in the upset.
The story in Jacksonville is Robinson and Hearns. Those wide receivers are really showing up like no other. They're bringing it. And Hearns, by the way, thank you very much for the fantasy points last week. I tip my cap to you. Look, until J.J. Watt learns to play quarterback, run the football, be a GM, call the offensive plays, call the defensive plays, and maybe own the franchise, because he is absolutely the best thing in Houston. Maybe the only thing in Houston right now we're cheering for.
DeAndre Hopkins is pretty good.
The only thing we're cheering for.
Okay.
Consistency, baby.
Okay.
DeAndre is not showing me consistency. I can't pick Houston to win this game, especially only favored by 1 on the road. Give me the Jags. Okay, next up, we have got Chicago headed to the Detroit Lions.
And we talked about this game before we recorded this, and we're pretty much going to agree on this. So let's just do the 1, 2, 3 thing.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Detroit
Bears.
sucks. Okay, yeah, Bears are going to win this one.
Yeah.
I don't understand why Detroit's favored.
Because they're at home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not going to help.
Basically a push.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so now we've got the Washington Redskins going to the New York Jets. Jets are favored by 6.
They're favored by 6 at home. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so if the Jets had any kind of consistency at quarterback, this will be a blowout. Kirk Cousins keeps trying to show you that he's somewhat of an NFL quarterback, not against this defense, not on the road. Give me the Jets.
Ivory plus this defense, which is just freaking amazing. I'm having a really tough time seeing how Washington scores more than 14 points in this game. I think the Jets will easily score more than that. Give me the Jets. Okay, got Arizona going to Pittsburgh. Arizona favored by 3.
And Arizona's going to win this game. That secondary for Pittsburgh is going to get shredded by Carson Palmer. They might be able to put some pressure on him. I don't think they'll be able to do it enough. That running back rotation, listen to this. The Arizona Cardinals have not just 1, not 2, but they have 3 serviceable running backs in that backfield. David Johnson, Chris Johnson, Andre Ellington. Too much for Steelers right now. Now with Michael Big at the helm, no. Give me the Cardinals.
Okay, you're take the Cardinals. We're going to disagree again here. And look, I'm not buying on Arizona. I can't buy on Arizona. I know this team too well, and I know Arian teams well. They've got a great defense, and I'm not going to deny that. Carson Palmer, we've seen this story before. He's really, really good for 4 or 5 games, and he goes in the freaking tank for another 4 or 5 games. Le'Veon Bell, I think, is going to keep Carson Palmer on the sidelines. I think Le'Veon Bell has the juice to make noise against this Arizona defense. Give me Pittsburgh in the upset.
Okay.
All right, we've got the Tennessee Titans hosting the Miami Dolphins. Titans are favored by 2.5.
Are the Miami Dolphins the worst team in football right now? Yes or no? Oh, you're taking too long.
Are there gradations of worse?
Maybe.
That'll
be like a whole nother segment. Give me
Tennessee.
Yeah,
you're right. Yeah,
give me
they're
Tennessee.
awful. They're awful. You know what? It's like, hey, look at that. I'm going to pick a rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick a rookie quarterback that beat a team that people thought was going to contend for its division this year.
It's rough in Miami.
Wow. Yeah, you know what? Marcus Mariota. Okay, 2.5 points. I can do that all day long.
Yep.
All right, next up we got Carolina going to the Great Green North in Seattle. Seattle favored by a touchdown.
Carolina undefeated, going 4-0 up to Seattle. They have not played anyone on their schedule. And I know Seattle isn't the same that they used to be, but up there, no, I can't do it. Give me Seattle. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I know where you're going, but I'm sorry.
No, look, I understand your pick.
Show me something.
Okay, so that Seattle defense, not at all what it was, and I know a bunch of people, especially the ones who are out there in blue and neon green, just waiting to give me the finger. Look, Cam Chancellor is not in football shape. Cam Chancellor shouldn't be on the football field right now. He's not ready to play. Last week he was a liability. He was the reason his team lost the game. Guess what? I really don't know how else to say that. When I look at this game, I see Cam Newton licking his freaking chops. He's going to go at Cam all day long, and I think Carolina's going to pull the upset. They may not win the game, but I don't think they're going to lose by a touchdown. All right.
You're taking a lot of risks this week. Okay.
I am. I'm rolling dice a little bit.
Wow.
Okay, we got San Diego headed to Green Bay. Green Bay favored by 10.
I'm going to let you go on this one since you're on a roll.
You know, I am on a roll, and I really kind of mulled this one over a little bit. The over's 50.5. San Diego's on the road. The only real good things about this team, besides the fact that Antonio Gates is now off his steroid suspension, are Woodhead and Rivers.
Yep.
When he's throwing to the guys in the right jersey. I think Green Bay's a little salty that they haven't run away with more games. And I think this is going to be one that they do run away with. I think they cover that 10-point spread. Give me the Green Bay Packers.
I was just waiting for you to just kind of take the bait and go with San Diego. But yes, we're going to agree. Packers are going to cover that.
All right, solid. Okay, we've got the New England Patriots headed to your Indianapolis Colts. What do you got?
Are the Colts almost as difficult to decipher as the Niners are as far as picking them to win or lose a game right now? I think they are. And by all accounts, we're going to get Andrew Luck back this week, which may not be a good thing because oldie Matt Hasselbeck was out there kind of pushing them along and getting them some wins and whatnot. We get back to, Angry Tommy Boy and whether he's going to go out there and not give a damn and just kind of, put up 40. I think the Patriots win the game, but I think they're not going to cover it. So maybe put some money on Indy.
You don't think they're going to cover 8 points?
No.
Okay, well, here's what I think. I think that Tom probably had this game circled on his calendar after all this Deflategate foolishness. I think that he could inflate his balls, deflate his balls. He could whip his balls out, throw them over his shoulder, maybe flip them around in a circle. I don't know. But you want to know what I do know? Tommy Terrific wants to win this game by a lot. And I think he is going to win it by a lot. Indianapolis is absolutely beat up. Frank Gore is their highlight reel right now, and that's pretty much it. Give me Tommy Terrific all day long. And you know what? They might win this one by 80 instead of 8.
Okay.
All right. Okay, next up, we've got the Giants going to the Philadelphia Eagles. And the Philadelphia Eagles are favored by 3.5.
Let me check what I just said. The Philadelphia Eagles are the worst team to predict in the NFL season nowadays. They put up like 30 something on the Saints. I mean, I know the Saints are bad, but it was Philly. Philly couldn't even put 5 on you and me, and now they're favored by 3.5. I know they're at home, so basically it's a push. It's a divisional game. It's really important. I said it about a couple of weeks ago that I think the Giants are going to be the team to come away as a champion in the division, not necessarily an accomplishment. I just think more of a display of what the NFC is nowadays. Big game for the Giants. I'm taking Eli Manning and the Blue Boys.
Yeah, I got to agree with you. Really, if you want to boil it down, the Chip Kelly Chuck and Duck project relies on somebody to distribute the football. That somebody's a quarterback, and Sam Bradford might be more inconsistent than a Chihuahua with ADD hopped up on a mountain of cocaine. It's just jittery, twitchy, not comfortable in the pocket. If they can't run the ball, which I don't think they're going to be able to do week over week, I don't see any way that they win. You know what? Give me the Giants for the upset.
All right.
Well, all right then. I think that's it.
That's it. If you guys want to know who we picked between the Niners and the Ravens, you can go back to the Upon for the review video and check out the end. And that'll be all for this week.
All right. I'm AJ Bellino.
I'm Diego Del Barco.
And this has been Upon Further Review.